Mystery of Black Hollow Lane. Chapter 7. The Order of Black Hollow Lane. What's the Order of Black Hollow Lane? Asked Emmy. Jack cleared his throat. I don't think we should. I think it's some kind of secret society. Emmy interrupted. Lola dropped her notebook on the table. A secret society? At Wellsworth? Yeah, Emmy said. At least they were here when the school first started, and that weird skull thing is a symbol for the order. They put it on things to let other order members know when something was important, almost like a secret handshake, but one you could actually see and leave behind. That's so cool, Lola said. I know, they sound kind of creepy though. Apparently they... Let's go for a walk. Jack shoved his chair back so hard it tipped over. A walk? Emmy looked at her watch. It was after 8:30 and they weren't allowed out past 9. Yes, it'll do us good after being cooped up in here all evening. Have you gone mental? Lola said. It's pitch black and freezing outside. I just need some fresh air. Emmy looked at Lola and shrugged, but they both followed Jack. The icy wind blasted them the minute Jack opened the door. Emmy hugged her sweater tight to her body. There, Jack said, through chattering teeth. That's loads better. Lola shook her head. Mental. So what else did you find out, Emmy? This order was pretty creepy. They thought they needed to purge the school of dissenting viewpoints, which I think means getting rid of anyone who doesn't agree with them. And they had this ritual where new recruits would cut their hands open and let the blood drip down onto the human skull. Lola stuck out her tongue. Blacks! I know. They had to say this pledge where they promised that nothing and no one was more important than the order. It's like something out of a scary movie. I don't know what Black Hollow Lane is, though. It's kind of a weird name. It probably comes from Black Howl Abbey, Lola said. Black means in Old English and howl means hollow. How do you know that? We did a bit of an Anglo-Saxon language study in humanities last year. Emmy raised her eyebrows. And you remember what random words mean? I told you, Jack said. She remembers every page of every book she's ever read. Anyways, the Anglo-Saxons often name places after things that were nearby, Lola said. There might be actually been some kind of lane in a black hollow at some point. Emmy nodded. So do you think we should put something about them in our report? No, Jack rubbed the goosebumps on his arms. I think we should just forget about them. But this could really make our report stand out, Emmy said. You don't understand how dangerous they are. Lola crossed her arms and narrowed her eyes. All right, Jack, spill it. Jack kicked the icy dirt. I don't know what you're... Come on, you obviously know something about this order thing, Lola said. You'd better give us a good reason if you want us to keep quiet about them. Jack looked around the empty clearing. I don't know a lot, he said quietly. I just know that they exist and that they're dangerous. How do you know about them? Emmy asked. My dad's a member, and Malcolm and Vincent. Brian's a member too. That's why he hates me. Why would being part of the order make Brian hate you? Jack stuffed his hands inside his pockets, swallowed, and said, most people don't find out about the order until they're in the last year or two at school. It was different for Brian and me. Our families have a long history in the order, so we were offered I guess you'd call it an apprenticeship. We were supposed to start early training so that when we left school, we'd have some kind of special positions or something. Brian was really excited about us doing all this stuff together. So what happened? Emmy asked. Vincent was supposed to be in charge of our first year's training. That's when he was still at school. He offered me the apprenticeship, and so I said no. You turned down your brother? Jack nodded. Why? Jack leaned against the door. Malcolm and Vincent, they changed when they joined the order. I don't know what they all have to do, but I know some of it isn't legal, and a lot of it seems pretty dangerous, and it puts other people in danger too. So I told Vincent I didn't want to do it. Pulled out of Latin Society, and that was that. What does Latin Society have to do with the order? Emmy asked. It's like a recruitment ground, a place to find worthy candidates, Jack explained. They test people with questions and challenges to find out if they got what it takes. If they pass the tests, they're offered the chance to join before they leave school. They haven't asked me any questions, Emmy said. Jack laughed. The order might as well hang up a big "No girls allowed" sign. And believe me, if the order's going to ignore you, that's a good thing. Emmy didn't know how to say this. Are you safe at home? Oh, yeah, it's nothing like that, Jack said quickly. I don't get on with my family, but they don't scare me. I just hear sometimes things that Malcolm or Vincent are going to do, some kind of shady work. I know those things aren't from the order. How come I didn't know all this, Lola? How come? Lola had been strangely quiet while Jack was talking. Her face was bright red, and Emmy couldn't tell if she was angry or hurt. Maybe it was a little bit of both. Most of it happened before we started hanging out. My dad's still on me about joining the order, though. Emmy bit her fingernail. I guess we probably shouldn't talk about them in our humanities report. Definitely not. I'd be in loads of trouble if anyone found out what I told you. Don't worry, Emmy said. Your secret's safe with us. And there's plenty of information on the Abbey in that book. We'll just focus on that for the report. Jack let out a deep breath. They went back inside and kept working on the assignment. But Emmy's mind kept wandering back to Jack and the order. He hadn't known her that long, but he told her something really personal, kind of scary too. She hadn't even told Jack and Lola about her dad. It just was too hard to explain that her dad was a total mystery to her. She didn't even know what had happened to him. What if they didn't understand? What if they thought it was weird? What if they thought she was weird? She'd never really had close friends before. She couldn't do anything that might mess that up. Emmy, did you hear what I said? Lola was staring at her. Oh, sorry. What was that? Where was that stuff about the monks being executed for treason? I'll find it. Emmy rifled through her pages. She needed to focus. She didn't want to let Jack and Lola down. It took them a few days to finish the assignment. Emmy smiled when she handed it in to Master Barlow. She was proud of this report. They'd worked really, really hard on it, you know. Black Howell Abbey. Barlow looked at her. I'm surprised you found information on our old cathedral. It can be hard to come by. We found an old book in the library mezzanine. There was lots of stuff about the Abbey and about when the school was founded. Barlow tapped the report on his desk a few times. You must have found some interesting information in there. Yeah, lots, but we didn't have time to go through it all. We just focused on the Abbey for the report. Good, he said sharply. That was the goal of the assignment. Sometimes doing extra work isn't a good thing, you know. Did you still have the book? Emmy shook her head. Good. Emmy tucked her hair behind her ear. Barlow didn't seem too impressed by the extra effort they'd put in. He seemed almost annoyed. She let the next person hand in his report and went back to her seat. They didn't need anything else for their assignment, but she couldn't help but be curious about the order. Who wouldn't want to know more about an ancient secret society? It felt a bit strange to go to Latin society now that she knew that they had a connection to this weird group. But it's not like they had any interest in her. I mean, being a girl and all. She'd probably never hear anything about the order again.